time is it? It's fight time. This is round one. Boxing fans in New Mexico, good evening. I'm Dennis DC Chavez, and of course I'm your host of Legacy Boxing Showcase of New Mexico, sponsored by Legacy Promotions. Perez Collision voted best of the best in auto collision, and Proview Network, channel 26, Comcast. Today, man, we got a superstar, and I gotta tell you something. This guest, let me just give you a quick rundown because we only got 8 minutes. This well-known MMA and boxing talent, trainer, is nationally, locally, and internationally known. Owner of Fit NHB, Fighters in Training, No Holds Barred, since 1988. Her motto, whatever it takes, voted married to Tom Vaughn. Ooh. And she's from Almonte, California many years ago. She's New Mexican to the bone. She's a world champion kickboxer out of the great club of Bill Packer's Bad Company. If you know what I'm talking about, you know they're bad to the bone. World champion caliber fighters. She's taught strikers like Donald Sanchez, Tim Means. She's worked with Monaco Lovato in the past. She's a soldier, Army soldier. She's just unbelievable. She's a World Kickboxing Association champ, U.S. champion, and a soldier. I can't believe it. She's here at the desk. First one, professional kickboxer, boxer, trainer. She's got one of the best gym in town. As we speak, live and breathe. As we live and breathe. I would like to introduce to all of you boxing fans of New Mexico, Arlene Sanchez. Hi, Arlene.
Hi, DC. What's up with the shades?
Oh, these shades? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Okay? It's because we got you. You're a superstar and you're brighter than heck. I'm going to take them off. I told her to say that. She's so nice. Listen, thank you for being on the show. And I just want to tell you, we have 3 rounds. Can we hear some of your backstory? How you got involved? Or tell me a little. We want to know who you are.
Okay, well, real quick. Just started training in boxing when I was like about 4 years old with my dad. We lived out in California. It was just kind of something to do. My dad was a former boxer himself.
What's his name?
And Jim Sanchez.
He fought in California?
He never really fought, but him and his brothers grew up, you know what I mean? Kind of in the backyard in the day.
Put the gloves on.
Absolutely.
Nice.
In El Monte. So, just kind of grew up through that. And then I got into karate. Then it went into professional kickboxing, professional Muay Thai, and so on and so forth. And I just kind of fell in love with MMA.
AKKA, right? That was your
AKKA,
love?
Yeah, with Mr. Packer, with Bill Packer. Yeah, correct.
That's interesting. I mean, this was not a girly sport. You know what I'm saying? You're right. It's not. In other words, it was a man's sport. So you to come in at that time. Well, that's interesting. It's like the 70s, 80s?
80s, yeah. I got involved in like 80, in the latter part of 1980 with the martial arts, and then kind of went into, after 2 years of that, then I went into fighting right 2 years of I turned pro. So.
How old were you when you turned pro?
I think I was 20.
Wow, that's
19 and
amazing.
a half, 20 years old.
Was there a lot of female kickboxing?
No, it was pretty small. No.
No.
No, I take it back. Irene Garcia.
Okay.
She was with Mr. Packer too, and as I was coming in, she was already phasing out.
I see.
Yeah.
Now, did you have any in your art form, martial arts form? Do you have belts or anything of that nature?
In the style, what we're doing now with Fit,
right? No.
We do have a level system.
Okay.
It's more like colors.
Right.
So yeah, just like traditional martial arts, we'll have a belt system. We don't necessarily have the belts, but we have a color system.
Your gym is really hot, and it's not because of it's a fad. Yeah. This has been going on for way before MMA hit. We talked about that off screen. We talk about boxing and things of that nature. And you're just, you say, I love some quotations from you. You say, DC, some of these cats, man, they come in and they think they could hang, but this is a sport that you have to dedicate yourself to. This is
a lifestyle, basically.
A lifestyle.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, just you wake up living and breathing it, and you stay on top of all information. Yeah. It's wonderful. I've been to your gym over there. It's on Lomas near the railroad tracks across from the Burger King. Big facility, old building, very cool. If you guys have a chance, go check it out. It's cool, man. more about your backstory. When did you win the USA World Title Kickboxing
I
Championship?
believe that was in '84.
And who did you fight? You'll never forget.
Her name was Dorian, something out of
Oh,
Arizona.
you know,
I don't
kicked your
remember
butt.
her last name. I remember it was Dorian something.
Dorian, she kicked your butt. Right?
Yeah.
God, I'm terrible. I'm gonna call him, you know. But I think it's wonderful what you do. We're gonna get rid of round one in a few minutes. But you came now transcending from California to New Mexico. Was that a big step?
Huge.
Well, and then you said El Monte.
Monte.
And what did you say off screen?
El Monte.
So she said some of the best fighters come from El Monte.
That's right. That's
Look,
right.
she don't
That's
deny
right.
it.
That's right. Jojo Diaz, one of my favorite boxers.
Really?
Outstanding. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
A lot of kickboxers come out of there. Yeah.
Is that right? Well, you're 505 all the way, you know, and we're 505, you know, Burke, Duke City, the way we roll. It's because we're going to live and die here, you know what I mean? Hopefully, if we're gracious, you know. I hope chili grows from my grave, but what I'm saying is I think it's wonderful that God gave you the talent to do what you do and bring it to New Mexico and start your life here, because I've seen it for a fact, all the kids that you influence and adults and your husband. I just think it's wonderful. We're so grateful that you're here, and we're so glad that you're here in New Mexico.
Thank you.
You know, because I just think it's a necessity. You know, you're all about non-bullying, out of the gang into the gym. You won't tolerate it, you know, and the days of thinking that you cannot defend yourself are over. I mean, man or woman, child, whatever, they can defend themselves. They just got to get in the right mindset. And you go through that in your training. You teach them, because I did your background check, and it was like, you know, the disciplines, the respect. It's just like boxing, you know. Boxing is a little more fluid, more like, you know, hey, you know. But when they get in that ring, boom, they lock on and focus, just like
discipline part. Yeah, absolutely.
The discipline, focus, and that's what it's all about. Listen, we made it through round one.
Woo.
A little bit about yourself.
Good.
I hope you enjoyed that.
Good.
We're coming back, round two. Come on back. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Thanks.
Hoops NM Basketball Center is coming soon. 10 full courts broken into 2 wings for ultimate basketball and volleyball play. Locker rooms, a lounge area, a pro shop, and a full snack bar will all be a part of a great experience. Convenient parking and access will make the Hoops NM Basketball Center a premier facility for league play and competitive regional tournaments. With over 9,000 square feet, Hoops NM Basketball Center will take court sports play to another level in our community. Courts are regulation high school size with wood floors and seating for approximately 350 per court. Major sponsors and supporters are being assembled now. If you're interested, contact Dan Serrano at 505-249-7994. Send him an email, hoopsnm@aol.com. That's hoopsnm@aol.com. Hoops NM Basketball Center, a premier sports facility serving our community.
Duke City Sports Bar. Proud supporter of Proview Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. Catch all the sports action from high school, college, pros, and MMA on one of our 35 HD TVs. Start your night off right with any selection from our delicious menu prepared with fresh, never frozen ingredients. Duke City Sports Bar, Albuquerque's newest sports bar. Located on Eubank and Montgomery, dial 505-433-4020.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that could happen? Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Carmody Medical provides solutions for your everyday needs. Hot and cold compression wraps provide therapeutic compression for the shoulder, hip, and knee. The therapy wraps are constructed of an insulated outer fabric and a ventilated cotton pocket to protect the body. Elastic belts allow mobility and deliver a gentle, adjustable compression. The reusable therapy packs can be removed from the pouch and placed into the freezer. Contact Jim for more information.
Wow, I can't believe it. Arlene Sanchez at the sports desk, Legacy Boxing Showcase of New Mexico. I am thrilled, just thrilled that we have Arlene. Arlene, this is round 2. And I got to ask you, you're involved in King of the Cage, right? How did you get involved, and how do you like being involved?
Well, you know, it's more so my husband. He's actually the promoter for the Southwest region. He's also the matchmaker for most of the United States.
And that Southwest region is what?
Consisting of New Mexico, I believe, if they go into Colorado, which we do, Colorado. So promoting there, I don't know if we're doing any other states right now, but he's matchmaking all over.
But King of the Cage is really hot.
Too.
It's up there
Yeah,
with Bellator, King of the Cage, and UFC. They're like the top. They're up there.
Well, King of the Cage has been around since what, 98.
Do you know your history about the Octagon? How did it start?
You know,
Muay Thai in the ring, and then
No, I think the Octagon actually started with the UFC when they did their first show. Was it Extreme Fighting or UFC in '93 or something like that?
Okay,
and,
all right. Were you hearing word about stuff like that coming down the pike, you know, in martial arts?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, because everybody's home.
It had already kind of been around for a bit, yeah, especially out of Colorado. And then also with Mr. Packer, we already knew about different fighters coming out of Colorado and stuff, kind of shifting into different parts of martial arts and stuff.
Will you explain real quick a quick synopsis of Mr. Bill Packer?
You know, the best. You know, a man that knew what he wanted, and he walked the walk. He didn't just talk the talk. Created, you know, more world champions out of one building than probably any other trainer in history.
He's in the Hall of Fame, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yes, martial arts Hall of Fame.
Yep, William Packer.
Yeah, and he even fought Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
You know that?
Yeah, Chuck Norris. Mr. Packer did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he taught a lot of movie actors how to fight, all that stuff. Bill Packer, you guys, had a club fight gym, and it was called Bad Company. And when you made the grade, you're part of Bad Company. They put you on the wall.
Yeah,
you got to be bad.
The team was Bad Company.
Yeah.
The gym was actually AKKA.
Oh yeah, AKK.
Yeah,
American Kempo
Karate Association.
I think that's now let's switch gears to boxing. Boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the boxing game. You know that, but I see you. You have some fighters up and coming. You know, little Hando Gutierrez and Sergio Six-Pack Gutierrez, little piñons, but they can fight. Now, why do you do that with the kids? I mean, you're martial arts, but you teach how to strike. But see, I know you know. Your strikers fight like boxers. Do you understand? They're not winging it like that, because that's a lot of problem with MMAs. And now, because you got that boxing background, kickboxing, right. and the little kids are just so enlightening. I do the amateurs, you know that. Tell me your story about how you got involved and why do you do it? I want to hear it. You know, what's up?
Well, our gym is based on all disciplines, basically. The boxing, the Muay Thai, the kickboxing, the submission grappling, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and wrestling. So we put all those disciplines together to create the MMA aspect. So when we start somebody, if we are fortunate enough to get some youngsters, we start them with a little bit of everything. They don't have to just focus on one thing. If they don't choose, they can focus on everything. So, you know, whereas our fighters are concerned at this point, when they're coming up being young, they're working their way through all those disciplines, and by the time they become adults, they're pretty well-rounded. Carlos Condit is one of them, for instance, and Tim Means.
Right,
So,
they're world caliber fighters.
Absolutely.
From your gym, huh?
Absolutely.
You wear that, you smile, because that's I have a saying in the boxing ring when I see fighters lose. I always say this. I go, ladies and gentlemen, some will go on to be kings in this sport, but it takes the heart of a king to get in that ring. There's no losers in any combat sport because, it feels easy. Everybody be doing it, and a lot of people brag this and that, but no. That world is a hard, focused life. It's the sport that's the greatest. That was the first. And that's why I have respect. And to show the discipline of these young children, they're so full of. I've seen them nurture from just learning the basics. Some of them go in the ring, they just swing, and then some. You could see the progression.
They're real refined. Yeah, absolutely. Well, those are the ones that like being there, are real focused and want to become something someday, Sergio Gutierrez, for instance.
Another one?
Hondo Gutierrez, for instance, the two that you saw on Saturday.
Great fighters.
At the Tapia show, yeah.
They have a kid out of Farmington, the Pueblo Cañelo.
Really?
Yeah, he's a redhead native.
Yeah.
Great. Is that cool?
That's really cool.
In association to you're connected to, everybody knows you. Everybody knows you in this town. I mean, you get a call from you, boom, if you're in shape, they want to fight on your cards. I think it's wonderful what you and your husband have aspired to do and have done. And to me, I just, the teen program. Can you tell us about that?
Teen program is headed off by Tim Means from, he's a UFC fighter. And him and Brenda Gonzalez, his wife, they both run that together. And then we have like 2 or 3 different assistant coaches because the class is really big. So the teen class is growing in leaps and bounds, and we're really proud of that. I believe that we probably had the first teen class for mixed martial artists.
That's cool.
So we're pretty excited about that. So pioneers in that aspect. And the kids, they love it. They just got back from a jiu-jitsu tournament out there in Rio Rancho. I think it was a Grapple Fest. Everybody did really well. We're real proud of them. We had 26 competitors. So we were really excited about correct.
Walking in?
Yeah, the kids and the teens. Yeah, absolutely.
How do you feel? You walk in, and your people show up and they do real well. That must be uplifting and just it makes everybody feel good. The good energy. You've seen the dedication. You've seen your training. You've seen your philosophies.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful what you do, and you're just you and your husband are doing wonderful things. Now, what's the address of your gym?
It's 110 Lomas Northeast.
Right across from the Burger King.
Right by the tracks. Right across from the Burger King.
Beautiful old building, long old warehouse building.
Warehouse, yeah, it's huge. 11,000 square feet.
Yes, and it's packed with everything.
We're about ready to have our 20th year anniversary, so we're getting pretty excited about that.
I'll be down there. I'd love to go down there, do some interviews, walk around, meet the people. Yep. I've been to that place. It's wonderful. What do you charge for a kid or anybody want to learn?
Well, basically, you can go month to month, or you can sign a year contract.
Not too expensive, reasonable?
No, it's basically as competitive as everybody else. So we make sure that we stay within those guidelines.
That's very nice.
And not try to overcharge people because this is New Mexico.
Yes.
There's not a lot of cash flow.
Cash flow.
So I think for us, it's really about how well how bad do you want it? If you want it, then we can work something out. If you don't have the money to go through it, So we enjoy what we do, and we try to share what we do with people that are really interested.
Do you instill them to be champions or just to get through the workout or just, you got these kids, it's hot right now, so they all show up. But the ones, like you said, that are really focused and dedicated. Now, kids need to learn how to fight. I'm sorry I said it, don't edit. Kids got to learn how to defend themselves. I'm a true believer in that because the world is very rough out there. Mm-hmm. And you do it, you train them to defend themselves, right? You don't make bullies or nothing like that. That's not the philosophy, right?
Well, here's the thing: is you know as well as I do. Once you train in something, it doesn't matter what it is. You don't keep throwing it out there in people's faces. So what happens when you've been training in the martial arts, and especially the kids, they have such a confidence in what they do. They don't need to put it out there. If they are forced to use it, then of course they're going to use it and defend themselves. But it's not going to be to the point where they're completely pummeling somebody. somebody. You know what I mean? It's just enough to get away and just say, hey, man, I told you, don't mess with me.
I love that. I love the way you talk. That's straight up, right?
And then they're just cool. And then they're cool. They're willing to be friends with people afterwards because, once again, they walk with confidence because they train.
The confidence factor, like in it's great. Sports is so good. You know?
Absolutely. Agreed. Agreed.
I was going to tell you something else. We'll go to round 3, okay? Round 3 coming up. We'll be back. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, #life change will occur.
VR Junkies is a virtual reality arcade. We specialize in all things VR, from the simple phone-based headsets to cutting-edge full-body motion systems. Check us out at the Coronado Mall. VR Junkies.
Wow, round 3 with Arlene Sanchez, trainer, coach, Fit Gym, right? No holds barred. Great conversation with you, getting it out there. This is open forum, round 3. We just talk about everything, okay? Now, off camera, we're just talking about, boxing and MMA are blown up again. Thank God, everything's rolling and really good. And you have some fighters that recently won. What's her name?
Nico Montano.
Nico Montano, yeah. And she's a female fighter.
Correct.
And tell me about the female fighters coming up and your philosophies and ideas.
Well, Nico just she had entered herself in the Ultimate Fighter 26 tryouts and wound up making it, wound up in the house for 6 weeks, and all that filming is said and done. It's already, I think, in this Wednesday will be episode number 4, I do believe. And Nico actually just won last Wednesday, if you actually watch the Ultimate Fighter on FS1.
Nice.
Yeah, Nico actually beat Lauren Murphy, who is a former Invicta World Champion, which is an all-female MMA promotion, and also she's a UFC veteran. She was that at 135. Nico, the show is based on the 25ers, so it's basically the next new world champion for UFC because they've never had the 125 division. This is the new division, so Nico won her very first match on Wednesday on TV, which was really cool. So we were real excited about that. Yeah, women are coming up, man. So everybody that enjoys watching female fights, keep your eye out for Nico Montano.
She's from your stable, right?
Correct. She came to us from Durango Martial Arts. I'll definitely throw them out there because that's a great gym out there with some great people running that. And so she's been with us, I believe, a couple of years now, really honing her MMA skills.
And she's on that TV show. What is it again? The
Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
It's basically being in the Tough House, which is in Vegas. And it's Ultimate Fighter Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. on FS1.
Nice. I got to tell you something. The coach and I were just talking. Female fighters need to get paid good money. They're fighting just as brutal as men. MMA, boxing, grappling, whatever. Pay the female fighters. I said it, don't edit. We need that. It's time to get paid. Right?
Absolutely. They would agree with you, and they will thank you for that. Absolutely, for that shout out.
Yeah, because,
Absolutely.
Shoot.
Yep. They put in the time just like the men do. They're getting, knocked around just like the men do. And some of those fights, I don't know if you watched the other fight on a Friday night out of Japan, UFC Japan, that was probably one of the best female fights, and it was a brawl from 1, 2, and 3 rounds. Jessica Andrade actually won that one, and wow, what a pummeling the other girl took.
Were they knuckling up?
You should have. It was a bloodbath. And I said they both got fight of the night. They got $50,000 bonuses in the UFC. So it was pretty neat, man. If you can go back and watch that,
cool.
You should. Props to both of those ladies. They went out there and left it on the line.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what? Props. See, look at the foundation. Mira, you're the foundation. For the good foundation needs good steps to get there. You know what I mean? And that's why I wanted you on the show. You're an original. You know, from back in the day, you're still doing it.
From Bad Company to the New Mexico Wild Bunch. That's who we are.
No, New Mexico Wild.
Team, the
yes.
New Mexico Wild Bunch.
What do you think about boxing in general in New Mexico? You like? What are the boxers you like in New Mexico as we live and breathe?
Oh man, you know what? Fidel Maldonado is my favorite, and then we got Josh Torres Pitbull. You know, he's my other favorite. So there's a lot of young men out there that got that potential. I think they just need to be, you know, maybe handled a little bit better by some of these promoters. You know, and get them out there. They need to be working. That's their job. That's what they live to do.
Correct.
And they're willing to get in there, so they're training their buns off. And so let's get these promoters to bring them up. In New Mexico, I think what Aaron and Jordan Legacy Promotion is doing is fantastic. Let's keep that rolling. Support them. Absolutely. And male and female. Not just the male boxers. Let's get the female boxers in there. We're looking for them. You know? Absolutely. So the gyms need to start bringing those women in and start training them, and then just start putting them out there and carefully put them out there so we can build these fighters so that by the time they get, you know, up there to the pro levels, they're ready to rock and roll, and they'll stay there.
Yes.
You know. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I love boxing. That's my first sport. So.
Well, you know, coincidentally, you know, boxing and MMA world champion Holly Holm. You know, she banged it out for years as a boxer, and then she dominated. And God bless her. You know, she's brought light to us, and you know her. And I just got to tell you something. Boxing in New Mexico is blowing up. You bring, what I like about Arlene is she brings boxers into the gym to practice, right?
Yeah.
To bang it out, right?
Absolutely. I have an open gym on Thursdays at 5:30, and it's all stand-up. So basically it's all striking disciplines. We'll bring in boxers as pros and amateurs. We'll bring in Muay Thai fighters and kickboxers, and whichever discipline you want to do, you'll tell the partner, and that's what you guys will work on. We do 10 3-minute rounds on Thursday with 30-second rests. You can be in the ring, you can be in the cage, or you can be on the mat. So you have the choice of where you want to do your sparring at, but we try to bring in as many people as we can. Sometimes we'll have about 40 strikers on that mat.
And you organize all that? You keep it all?
I keep an eye on everything and make sure I don't, you know, and I'm sure my fighters will say this. I'm always telling them no injuries, no injuries. So we're working with control, we're working with good techniques, so on and so forth.
Get flared? Do you tell them to chill it?
Absolutely, absolutely. We don't want any injuries in there, you know?
Well, I gotta say something. The location is what address again?
110 Lomas Northeast.
A Fit Gym, right?
Yep, correct.
No NHB, no holds barred, right?
Correct.
Fit stands for
Fighters in Training.
Boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We made history. We made history. I'm so glad that you're here. We educated. You know, my goal is to educate. I'm just not educate, but just people need to know the fight world. There's more to it than just them on the mat, in the octagon, and in the ring. It takes a whole process of people to get there.
Most people just see the final result, which is the fight.
The fight.
But there's a whole process that's involved, absolutely.
And you're one of the best processes of people that get that there. I want to thank you so much for being on the show. We made history. Your first pro female Annie here, right? Come on, give me some, man.
Well, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. You know, if you want to check out our gym, please go to Fit. It's on Lomas, across the street from the Burger King. Kids, adults, check it out. It's wonderful. Listen, that's our show. Oh, got to give a shout out real quick. Jake LaMotta, great fighter, passed, give him respect. Also, a good man that was involved in boxing in New Mexico for many years, right when I started. His name is Ray De La Cruz. He passed. Rest in peace, Ray. And we give shout outs to, you know, and I you know what? It was an honor to have you on the show. And I got to tell you guys, I'm New Mexico fans. You know what? Like I always end the show, keep your chin down and keep on swinging. Boom! We'll catch you next time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey! It's going to be on.